Broadway's newest rising star.
There he is.
That guy.
Yeah.
He's joining us on the couch.
Thank goodness. The first word that comes to mind when describing our next guest, sensational.
Yes. Ali Louis Bourzgui is stepping into the rock and roll world as the iconic Tommy Walker in his Broadway debut of The Who's Tommy musical, a young pinball wizard who's channeling his trauma into worldwide fame.
Oh my gosh, and with his new role, the breakout star is ready to satisfy the Who fans and introduce us to a new generation of the iconic Tommy. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans around the world, please welcome actor Ali Louis Bourzgui. There he is.
Good to see you guys.
Sir.
Pleasure.
Hey,
Thank you for coming.
So nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, this is a treat for us.
It is. We love our Broadway stars on this
Well,
couch.
thank you.
Fresh off of a big nomination. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
How are you feeling? Where were you when you found out? What were you doing?
And we're
What
talking
was
about
it
a Tony
The
nomination.
Tony. That's what we're talking
For
about.
Yeah.
Best Revival, yeah.
Yes.
You know, I was at home and I was sort of watching the whole thing going down, and I think Best Revival is just such a great award for us. Just it's such an ensemble piece, and like everyone on this backstage and on stage, and it's all been such a collaboration since Chicago last year, and for like everyone to be nominated together in this way is really special.
It's got to feel really good.
That is fun. That is fun. So what has this experience been like for you? Because this is someone that's familiar with generations of folks, no pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, it's been stepping into this legacy piece. And when we started in Chicago, it really felt like stepping into these like giant shoes, which, you know, is like Elton John is the pinball wizard in the movie. I just had to do so much homework. And like you said, so many people love this piece, and there's so much history to it. And so I just took everything in that I could. And listened to the album hundreds of times and watched the movie and listened to every other like Who album and talked to Pete and just bathed basically in everything that the Who is and has been. And I try to keep that with me as I'm going through the show.
The new #1 fan
And
of The Who.
Yeah, and by Pete, he knows him as Pete. I know him as
First
Townsend,
name
but
basis now,
apparently they're on a first name
Look at
basis.
that. One day we'll
All right.
get there,
All
Marisol.
right.
Sure. I'll
Wow.
introduce you.
We got a rock star on the couch. All right, let's take it back a little bit. You graduated from Ithaca, the Gorgeous,
Hello.
if you know you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
with a degree in musical theater. So is that kind of where the love of Broadway was spurred for you? Did it come before then?
It came much earlier. I grew up in Berkshire County in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. So I was just surrounded by tons of incredible theater and incredible dancing and music at Tanglewood. And I just grew up in this hub of arts, and also it was like 2.5 hours from New York City.
Right.
So and I had a very supportive family who brought me into the city to see shows.
Wow.
And, I saw tours, and I just had a lot of opportunities to see theater and to see arts, and so I fell in love with it. And Elizabeth Banks went to my high school, so there was already like a great like little theater thing set up there. So I just kind of went through the ranks, kept doing all the shows, and fell in love with it very, very early on, and just kind of kept doing it. There was nothing else I found that I loved more. So
who were some of your influences when you were coming up? Was it broad? Was it narrow?
Yeah, I feel like I was just influenced by any artist in any realm really that just seemed like highly passionate and unique. I always liked unique people. Like for some reason right now the person coming in my head music-wise is I always loved Yusuf, Cat Stevens, like for music, and I was always inspired by like how his songs were very I don't know, very different from any other songwriter, and those were super unique. And so people like that, and I always reference Mark Ruffalo as an actor that I really aspire to be like. Just in terms of like, he's like just a good person, and he brings that into his roles too, and every role he plays is a very odd character, but he always has that like that same kind of integrity to him. So yeah.
And you're playing an important role as well because you're very open about your Moroccan American heritage.
Yeah.
And now here you are on the, I'm calling it the world stage,
It's
the Great
world
White
stage.
Way. This obviously has a huge impact on your community and what you stand for and where your roots, and what does it mean to you? What is the significance for you to be able to have other kids who are like you growing up maybe in a similar town and they're going to come see you on stage?
Yeah, you know, to be Arab American in this country and just in general is often a lot, having a lot of just bad media and kind of being shed in a negative light your whole life. And so to have anything where your culture, where somebody in your culture is perceived in a positive light and in a, you know, somewhere where you can be proud of them or you can be proud of your culture and not have to hide it. That's so important. I had to hide it for so long, and I was so ashamed of it. And there were people that sort of I could look to make me feel proud. So I'm happy to be one of those people for other kids. And you know, the Moroccan culture specifically is so community based.
Yep.
When I go there, we all like eat food together. We like do, I don't know, even the arts there. Like if you see a music performance, it's all community based. So I try to bring that to what I do here.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I think there are young people, you are young yourself, but there are younger people who are saying, now I can do it. There's someone that looks like me. The cliche is true. If you can see it, you can be it.
Exactly.
Can we shift gears and play a little game with you?
Sure.
And the answer better be yes. I was going to say yeah.
You don't have, I asked as a formality.
We asked as though you had a choice.
Rapid fire. We're going to get to know you a little bit better. Dream role to play.
Recently, I have been wanting to play Jamie in the last 5 years in some kind of an interesting version of it.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Jamie of Jamie.
What is Jamie?
Jamie in the last 5 years.
In the last 5 years.
It's a musical,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Well, we need to go to Broadway.
Clearly.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite movie line?
Favorite movie line?
You can't handle the truth.
That's great.
literally
I'll
thinking
go
of
with
the-
that. I'll
Okay,
steal
Take the
that.
gun,
Borrow
take the
that one,
cannoli. Favorite genre of music?
Folk.
Oh, I
We
did
just
not
showed,
see that one
and
coming.
we just showed him playing
Yes.
guitar.
Yeah.
I wondered if that
makes
was
sense.
best food spot in NYC.
Ooh. First thing that comes to mind is Yemen Cafe in Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn. Okay. Best piece of advice you ever received from any facet of life?
Probably just not to compare yourself to others.
You're here.
Simple.
Here, here. Ali, this is a treat for us.
Thank you.
This is really, really, I think you have a bright future, kid. Not that I know
appreciate it.
anything
Please
about
come
anything.
back and visit.
I will.
Yes.